folks.
We are live. What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Regan here alongside Joe. Let us know if you can hear us okay.
How now, brown cow? How now, brown cow? Check 1, 2. We need more cowbell.
I think we're good, as I can tell. All right, guys. Welcome to the first live stream in the new studio. If you haven't seen where the new studio actually is located, you should go back and watch the previous two videos that I did, and you might be surprised.
May I make a comment on the new studio?
Absolutely.
Number one, very impressed.
Thanks.
Not only am I impressed with how accurately you are to get the same feeling of the old studio, but when you see where we're at, and I'm sure I don't know if the viewers know, like we're in a garage right now.
Yep.
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to drop that hint or drop.
Yeah, no, they've seen it all.
It's inspired me to look at a lot of different spaces that I have in my basement or certain areas that I'm not maximizing that I can easily transform into usable, filmable space. It's very well done. I'm pretty impressed.
The whole thing, because I did vlog this and it's actually on this channel, but I wanted to showcase what can be done for a relatively easy budget. And this was done for under $1,000 with like flooring and walls and all of that. So, I mean, if people have a dedicated space, because you see a lot of people, again, very talented presenters, good workouts and stuff, but even when they're in smaller rooms, they've got themselves like just shoved right into like against a wall and like cameras up here looking down at them or down here. Good morning, Krista. And things like that. And it's like there's a lot of little things that you can manipulate and maneuver to just completely give it a different look and feel. And it does. I think it matters. Like if I was here in this bland, drab garage right now with nothing behind me but a lawnmower, I think it would be a different perception of what we're offering today. So
it also depends on what we're talking about. What if this was Regan's lawnmower repair shop? And then we knew our audience and that was the thing they were looking for. But this is not Regan's lawn and maintenance repair. And what are we going to be talking about today, sir?
Basically anything and everything. I just wanted to get a live stream done here. Looking here, it's going slow. And I just want to make sure it's just my thing. And let us know, guys, if you can hear us and see us okay. It's not cutting out.
What's new in the YouTube world that we should know about?
No more dislikes. You can't dislike a video anymore.
Why is that? I don't know. Should we get into that?
Because people are sensitive. It's funny, there's a lot of people that are that are up in arms about the whole thing. I think it's
shockingly people are up in arms about something.
Yeah, it's a moot point. I truly don't think it matters. I never thought it mattered. Even to me, I used to tell, and I do tell my clients that when you start getting dislikes, that's a good thing. That means you're actually starting to make it. Because when all you get is love and likes, and that it's just your family and friends. Right. It's when people start saying you're an idiot, it's reaching a bigger audience. You're not doing that right, and then I mean, if you go to the trap bar deadlift, there's so many experts that have corrected you 1,000 times over.
As it probably should have, but at the time it was filmed as what we knew.
No, but you know what? Though, that's just people.
Now, I will say, if a video's up and it has a 99% thumbs down with a 1% thumbs up, is someone doing something right?
Probably not. But what's happening? They said that what's happening is that there's people like, good morning, Val. There's people that are manipulating. Like if let's say you have a competitor, somebody else who's in your area that does coaching or something like that. And if you got your minions all to go and dislike their video, like as soon as they post it,
gotcha. So, I mean, now granted, it does take away a lot, I guess, the trolling of the world.
Yeah.
Now, is the negative comment feature still going to be there?
You can still leave whatever comments you want. And the good thing is that, stop fussing.
The dogs are a little active here.
Here.
In the meantime, it's good to see you all. Joe, back again. It's been a while. Thanks for having me. Batman has fallen for the first time. We have a little Batman and Robin motif. For those of you, I want to know if there's anyone watching right now who still remembers Batman walking up the side of a building, but we all knew he wasn't going up the side of a building. It was really just a camera angle of him just walking straight. Tell me if you're old enough to remember that Batman.
Do you remember when he got caught, found the bomb, the big black bomb? This is in the Batman the movie. This is
Okay,
and it was like the whole confounded. It's gonna go, and he ran for 3 minutes all over town. Like he went to one place, there was a bunch of dogs, he couldn't put it there, and he ran. So this bomb was about to blow. The fuse was going at, and he ran all through Gotham for about 3 or 4 minutes. It's in the Batman movie from like this, whatever it was, but it's worth looking up on YouTube. And I know it's there because I watch it often.
So we have Batman theme, Batman and Robin.
That'd make a good T-shirt, actually. Batman with the bomb.
Batman with the bomb.
Bo, shut up, or you're going in your house.
So we were talking about the dislike feature on the YouTube and how we are eliminating that. So now people will have no idea how validated they are.
Well, no, I mean, the good thing is that you as the creator can still see the dislikes.
Gotcha.
And that's important because I think you do need to know that.
I didn't know. Okay, we didn't. That was a key piece of information that
that
I feel
on your side of it, somebody can still leave a dislike. Publicly, they're not showing.
So it doesn't create that ripple effect or someone giving a perception of, well, there's so many dislikes, it might not be good. You have to form your own opinion before you would like it or not.
Right. So people can still dislike the video. Because the thing is, a lot of people do get very sensitive to dislikes, but a lot of people will dislike a video as their way of they're not interested in this subject matter. Like there's other ways you can do that. But if I hit dislike on a video, then YouTube is not going to show that person or me or whatever more of these videos. It's not always that they hate you. It's just that they don't want to watch this stuff.
It's just basically me flipping through my stations in my car going, I just don't want to hear this station, so dislike it, don't need it. Not that the whole world needs to know that, just that I don't feel like listening to it.
Exactly.
Perfect. So that's new in the YouTube world.
Yeah, and again, a lot of people, it's been a big news thing. I don't think it's that important. I'm not a big likes, dislikes guy, so I don't really think, and again, if anything, I like when the dislikes come in because I think it just shows that you're out in the public. You're not in your own little cocoon. So
with this being a topic and something new in the YouTube world, let's talk about how to react and how to use this to your advantage then. So those might notice the up in arms, the crazy, this is awful, but how do we use this to our opportunity for those using YouTube, trying to use it to your advantage? What do we want to so now that people can't see it, what do we want to do with this opportunity, or at least what do we want to do with some of the information?
What's the question again?
Okay, so people are up in arms. New topic. What is your recommendation to do with this? Like, do you care about it? Not care about it?
The dislike thing.
The dislike feature. Yeah.
It doesn't matter at all. I can still see it, so I can still gauge whether people like it or not.
No need to talk about that.
I think with fitness content, it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's in the eye of the beholder. Like, just because one person doesn't like your video, it doesn't mean it's a bad video. But yeah, I don't think it's really for fitness. I don't think it really matters. You can still see it. You can still use it as potentially information to improve or change things in that, or you can just ignore it. But it's just basically not going public, which whatever. Like I just don't see that.
So nothing exciting in the YouTube world to know about.
No, just basically that. Okay. What's Val asking here? Is YouTube changing this, or is it an option as we creators have to change? Are you talking about the dislike, Val? It's across the board change. Yeah. Their opinion on it is that none of the other social platforms have dislike buttons, so they don't feel it should matter anyway. So they're just changing it across the board. People can use dislike to stop seeing your videos, or if they don't like it, they can still register their disgust, and you can still see it, and you can still utilize it if you want as information. But publicly, it's not showing up in the video. Only the likes will. So, I mean, I guess for people that are sensitive towards that stuff, then it's a good thing. But again, I don't think it really is going to change much of anything, but just my opinion.
Case Bloody can remember the time of the Batman. Very exciting.
And she's in Austria, so
Austria Batman?
I wonder if they have like their own Batman. So aside from that, guys, if you have questions, fire them off at any point in time. Like Joe and I set this up today. We really went on the no plan. Wanted to kind of have an open forum to answer questions. take a look at some channels if you guys want, and then we'll just basically fill in the gaps in between. But yeah, so you like the studio, eh?
The studio is nice. Yeah, I really like the bookshelf.
Well, that was there before.
I know it was there before, but just again, it looks so cool to be able to kind of see the same set, but have the convenience of being in your garage.
The whole point of this was basically like I've more or less put it out there that I'm shifting priorities from in-person agency work to a lot more digital content. I'm just seeing too much. There's so much opportunity, not so much on YouTube, but through YouTube right now. And I've slowly, like, I see it with this channel and with my other channel. The problem is that I can't do everything. I can't do the full-time job. Like my business it's too big to be small and too small to be big. So it really is a one-man operation with people that I'll source out, a contract for jobs, and trying to manage and keep up with that and build this is just impossible. So slight shift. YouTube's getting priority for at least the next 12 months. And for anybody that's doing this, part of it, like it's a matter of finding ways to make money, but it's also a matter of finding ways to save money.
Right.
And even if I wasn't doing this at all, doing that, having that agency, it got to the point where it was a vanity metric. Right. Beautiful spot. I love it. But aesthetically, it was great. In terms of functionality, not always great. I had a warehouse underneath me. There was always constant problems with the heaters and stuff because it's an old building and all these little kinds of things. It's also about 25, 30 minutes away. So there's a commute every day. And then just trying to see your family and like all that kind of stuff. So when this opportunity came up to get into this house, I saw the space. This house has a ton of storage. I knew that I could dedicate this room to the studio, and I did that. So right off the bat, that takes $3,000 of overhead off every month, which lightens my load so I can focus on this without the pressure of taking every single local job that comes up for doing stuff. So that's basically the premise behind it. And I'm looking forward to this because I am going to start doing more vlog content, which kind of shows like the good, bad, and ugly of trying to do this. Because I think anybody who's taken the time to even follow this channel does have aspirations of making money doing this. So we'll see if it can happen or not.
Can we dive into, I don't know if there's other questions we can get into first, but I got a whole bunch of stuff I think we can talk about from what you're just.
Let's grab Val's question here. Yeah. Question about lighting. I have a lot of natural light where I record, but some areas at times seem uneven. My 2200 walking work seemed to be one of the good ones. Can you check it out? Let me see if I can bring it up, Val. You can fill the dead air while I'm looking at that.
Okay. So there's three things that you brought up about right now. The biggest opportunity to kind of dive into YouTube. You dove into not being able to do both, trying to manage it. And then there's a lot of people that can probably really relate to, okay, I'm doing this, but this is on the side. When do I kind of take the leap? And then talking about making money, saving money, and sometimes looking at ways to save money and how you manage to make a $36,000 savings looking at this opportunity.
Yeah, and I look at that as a profit. Like I feel like I'm like when you're, to me, saving and earning are one and the same.
Yes. Now, technically, yes and no. So let's say that so if you don't do anything with that 3,000, you waste it. Yeah. So how many people go, hey, I'm now saving $3,000 a month. I'm gonna go blow that money on something. So that, that's not saving or investing in that. No. So
see, in full transparency, like I've said in the vlog stuff, like I'm not completely abandoning my job. I'm just going to do things more on a consultancy level. And I'm trying to, like, I don't know if it's a getting older thing or what, but your priorities change. And there was a point in the not too distant past where it was just take as many jobs as possible, make as much money as possible. And the bigger the annual amount, the more successful I felt I was. But then it's like, don't see family, don't get to go home, don't get, all these things. You're working constantly. You're dealing with people that you really don't want to deal with in some cases. And it's like, I maybe this was like a COVID lockdown sort of aha moment, but I just started feeling like there's a different way to do this. And to me, it's kind of like buying some of my life back as opposed to just working, and then trying to stare at a number and judge your success by that number. And I think a lot of it just comes down to what maybe is impressive to the general public versus what makes you happiest. And that's sort of where I think I'm at right now. Pause for 1 second. So Val, the 2200 walking workout, I'm on your page. I can't find that one. I
search
14-minute. Let's see. Oh, found it.
There's a great feature on the YouTube
That's 8
page.
months ago, though.
Down 22 steps in 15 minutes.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
I'm helping him with the YouTube stuff. Don't worry, it's okay.
So I'm looking at this for lighting, Val.
We're looking at this for lighting, folks. Is there any way of pulling that up on the screen for all of us to watch?
Yeah, I can. Well, hopefully the internet connection is.
All right.
So
I'm looking at the lighting right now.
what's that?
So we're taking a look at lighting.
Share screen.
It just says, yeah, that's just for tips.
Yeah, but it's saying works best at I have 2 monitors.
Yeah, but just saying, okay, don't show me these tips again.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
I can already see it starting to hesitate. We'll see. Okay.
Okay.
So Val, what am I right now? It looks pretty good to me. I can tell the light's coming in obviously from your left side. Let me know what we're looking at.
So I think it just seems uneven. This is one of the good ones.
Yeah.
So obviously some of the other videos are not as good as this. Is this the best? Is this the best it can be, or would you make recommendations to make this even better?
I mean, I'm guessing that over here is a major window.
Right.
And that's going to really come down to the time of day.
Right.
Like if we started this thing an hour and a half ago, you wouldn't believe the light that's coming in these windows right here.
Yeah.
It's pretty blinding.
Now, would you still suggest some front lights on her?
Right now, I'm not as concerned about it. I need advice on how to even it out. They're all about the same. Yeah, I'm seeing X-Shell and NM. I'm seeing both your stuff, and we'll get to that in 1 sec here for sure. Just don't want you to know I'm not missing you. Honestly, Val, like that room is a perfect example of a room. Like I'm guessing by the fact that nothing's in that room that you're using this room for your workouts, and that's what it's there for. I could be wrong. You could be moving stuff around, but that's a perfect example of a room that could really be put a little coat of polish on it. Like that wall behind you is almost the exact same color as your skin tone. That can pose problems because basically you start to get lost. And thankfully in this one, you've got the black outfit on. So you're able to pop off screen, but you notice that like your face and your hands and below your knees, it does start to blend with the walls. So changing that wall color or putting something on there with a texture just to kind of, it's all about creating dimension. Now, a lot of this comes down to what kind of lens you use when you're shooting, but I don't expect you guys to go out and buy super expensive lenses or anything like that. But I think for sure, if you were to, yeah, okay, there you go. It's a dedicated room. I would absolutely, Val, think about changing wall color. And now when I say changing wall color, change the wall color based on YouTube workouts, not based on Val's favorite color. So find some, like, you know, a room like that. I'm sure there's like those online apps where you can change the color 1,000 times over to look. You don't want to go too dark or too light or anything like that, but look at some other channels and see what they're doing. You know, it's a beautiful floor by the looks of it. Like I think you can make an incredible room out of that. Right now, like the color of your wall is the same color that this garage wall was when I moved in here. And it just is that beige pewter color. I find it was pretty popular maybe 10, 12 years ago. And now I find it's kind of just.
It's the safe neutral color.
Yeah.
It makes you feel nothing.
That's not white. Yeah. Yeah. And it's just changing the color. One Stop sharing there still. Changing the color. Like I said, the panels that I've got in behind me here, they're $60 each, and you can get white. You can get white brick. You can get like a nice red brick, and that I went for the distressed looking brick only because it's, again, very similar to what I had before. So anything like that just adds a little bit of texture and dimension. You see people like Heather Robertson, she does like the wainscoting around the wall and stuff. I wouldn't know how to do that, but maybe your husband does. So I mean, that's a possibility too, but make sure I'm not missing anything here. So put something, I'm going to go back. I just want to finish off this one. Use my phone and recommendation on the camera. I'm going to be doing a video this week, Val, which is going to be basically a lot of my recommendations for Black Friday. Not to say you're buying something ASAP, but there's some really good deals on like Sony A6400s and different cameras like that work really well in low light and give you a nice picture. And I'm going to go beyond tech into like lights, software, things like that. So that video, I don't know when's Black Friday in the US. It's like this upcoming Friday, I think, isn't it?
Sure.
Probably going to happen this week.
So give me a little rundown of this. So like basically a getting started for beginners, like camera, lights, action kind of thing. Like what do you need for decent camera, decent lights, whatever you need.
There's people using their phones. Particularly the best video quality I've seen with phones is the iPhone. Yeah. There's people using like iPhone 10s and stuff, and it's really good quality video. Like it scares me a little bit. So I mean, that's definitely a possibility.
So basic camera you'd recommend right now?
Sony mirrorless cameras. The A6400 is basically a consumer version of what we're using right now.
What's the price range on that?
Usually it's around $1,500, but Black Friday there's deals that are as much as 40% off.
Okay.
So there is some stuff coming up, and I started collecting the info already. And I am going to do a video on it this week or a live stream and just kind of go over some of my recommendations.
So let me ask you this. A basic package for lighting, camera, whatever software, I guess some things you need. Good Black Friday price, all in. Someone to get started.
All in for good camera.
Light. 3,000?
1,500.
Oh, really?
Everything I do in this channel is, I could say more, but yes, you could get, if you utilize Black Friday deals, you could get a really good camera, a good, decent lighting kit for filling in, gaps and stuff. And like a good lens. For
That's pretty good.
Yeah. 1,500 get you started. I always try and keep the prices down as much as possible because again, we're all kind of,
Well, I'm thinking of like most businesses that you want to start and capitalize on and what you're investing in and things that you need. And
if I was like dealing with a business who was just getting into this and they had money, but they were also on budgets and stuff, I would say under 3,000, I could set them up brilliant. Like everything for shooting, for live streams, the whole work. So
that's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
All right. So let's see where we're. I know I'm missing stuff here.
That's
so
okay. This is the last one right here, I think. And then
I know I missed Shell homework. So hopefully that helps you a little bit, Val. Definitely we can do a consultation soon. And any of you guys out there who are looking for consultations, two things. Ooh. This is the time of year to do it because be ready for January. I highly recommend that because January is going to be your opportunity to grow. And if you miss that boat, you've got 12 months to wait for it because I'm hoping there's not going to be another wave of COVID. So be ready for January. If you ever want to talk about your channels, right above my head, buymeacoffee.com/trainerhub. There's info on there. You can book consultations and things like that. If you want to talk to Joe, you can email Joe. Is it Joe at you changed
the Arkopedia@gmail.com.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Joe at joearko.com?
Too simple. I mean, I get it. I just like the Arkopedia.
I'll write it in.
I think it's great.
The Arkopedia.
Yeah, I've been using that since high school. For those old enough to know what an encyclopedia is, the Arkopedia is my last name. It's my knowledge, my wisdom, my thoughts. Yes. Where I didn't see it. Where'd you put it?
Wait, the bottom.
Yes.
So if you ever want to reach out to Joe, you can do that. You can also reach out to me and I can connect you with Joe. Maybe.
I love funny memes. If you'd like to email me a funny meme, and we can be instant friends.
Okay, so I'm going up and back and forth here, guys, so bear with me. So Val, if you have any other questions about that, just reach out. If any of you guys that aren't on the Facebook group, facebook.com/Fitness Marketing Hub YT, I believe it is. Or you can just search Fitness Marketing Hub. That's kind of our little internal community. It's a private group. You request to join, I will let you in. And okay, so Chell, good morning. I was wondering if you could please recommend a good quality mic that can be worn while working out and talking to viewers, preferably wireless if possible. Chell, if you go down almost a year ago, there's a 2-part series. It's actually a 3-part series. I haven't done part 3 yet, but basically on shooting from home on a budget. And there's recommendations in there for microphones, and they start at about $100 for a good wireless. It's actually not connected to anything. You basically connect it to your computer after, pull the audio out. I think it was either by it might have been a Rode wireless mic or RODE. Let me see if I can find the video, and I'll put the link in.
What are the things you're looking for when like what they're looking for, like a wireless mic like this? Do's and don'ts. Like, what are some basic things you're looking for when searching for one? Like I go on Amazon, go onto a website. Things I should definitely be wary of.
I mean, take your time watching the reviews. If you see a lot of 5-star reviews and it's all 3-4 words long, it's probably not real reviews. But if you see people that are leaving positive reviews that are verified and there's a lot of write-ups in there, then that's good. Negative reviews, same thing. You always have to be careful. Like it's hard. Like finding people that you trust that you can speak to about this stuff is my biggest recommendation. Perfect example, these walls behind me, when I was looking at them, and I know somebody had asked the question there earlier. I got these at Rona, which I don't know if that's just Canada or not, but Rona here in Canada, they're one of the few places left that still carry this stuff. And so when I looked up the reviews online for this stuff, I have used these before, but regardless, I still looked at the reviews, and somebody was basically went off 1 star, can't get them to match up because, as you can see, these are like 4x8 panels that have to match up. And so they just tore a strip off of these things, which I'm like, oh crap, well, I don't want to deal with that. So if you watch the video where I'm buying them, which is from last week, you see me lining them up in the whole hallway to make sure. But the thing is, on the back of the panel, there is a this side up thing. This person had it upside down. So I could have just went with that review and just completely aborted the whole mission. But I went and looked at it myself, and sure enough, they had it upside down, and they match up pretty damn good.
Pretty good.
The reason that one doesn't match up perfectly is because of the floor, like the baseboard. It's not actually that. Because if you look at this one, it's flawless.
Flawless.
So it's
read the instructions, folks. Read the instructions.
And I have no carpenter's ability whatsoever. So somebody who knows what
digital,
they're doing,
digital,
yeah,
digital carpentry is what you have.
Yeah,
that is. You know, is that used? Digital carpentry?
I don't know.
Someone who's a master in the digital world creating.
Boys, would you get him from under there?
Where are we here?
I'm trying to find that video.
Gotcha. So wireless mics. I'm assuming $100 is an average range. What you're looking for mics?
It's a starting range. Like the microphone, the wireless that I use, they're between the receiver and the things. They're like $1,500.
Oh wow!
But I mean, I bought those for business purposes, and I use.
And what's the main difference between those and the $100 ones?
In some cases, not a lot. Like, I mean, at this point, the wireless microphones I use, I bought them in 2004.
Gotcha.
So I bet you $100 mic's probably better than the ones I use now.
Gotcha.
And I know that the ones I use, that particular model isn't even made anymore. So
we don't really need to go spending like $1,500 for mics right now.
No, especially not right now.
Okay. We are still looking for that.
Yeah, bear with me.
Not a problemo.
Yeah, so the video is from June of 2020. and it's how to shoot. I'm just going to get the link and post it in. But the Zoom H1 is actually what I had recommended. So
Zoom H1.
Yeah, and Zoom is what I use now as my receiver. So here, let me put this one up.
No association with Zoom as in Zoom?
No.
And not any association with Zoom as in Volvo?
So yeah. So there's the Zoom H1. And yeah, anybody who buys that, yes, I do get a kickback on it. So, but it is actually the one I recommend. It's my choice. And I will also share the link to the video. There's a lot of good stuff in here, guys. If you're looking for just basic, affordable, this video right here, just some very basic things to get you started and set up. Because anything I ever do on here, it's always going to be within a budget. I'm not always going to recommend the absolute best things on the market for doing stuff, but I'm going to recommend the best budget-friendly stuff because I want you guys to, anything you buy to use on your YouTube channel, I want your YouTube channel to pay for it. So that's kind of the overarching thing that we're trying to do here.
Where we at?
So I just want to, okay, so we got Shell with the microphone. NM personal training. Yeah, if you want to just post your link to your channel in here, and then that way anybody can subscribe to it who wants to, and then I'll cut and paste it and bring it up. We'll have a quick look at it. Whenever we do channel reviews on here, guys, it's basically from the outside looking in, and we review the aesthetics and I mean, Joe and I can both give you some feedback on it. To get much more detailed reviews, that's when we do recommend consultations, only because then we deep dive into the analytics and we can see specific problems, the things that are happening that are causing you not to grow. Which is
what were some of those analytics? We covered we did another live back in the day about those.
What are some?
So someone who might not be looking at analytics, give us a quick rundown on analytics you should be looking for in your YouTube channel.
Impressions.
Watch times,
average view durations.
Okay.
I could care less about views and likes.
Okay.
Like, to give it an analogy, and this is something that is increasingly starting to piss me off. If you're one of those people who your main source of marketing is liking channels and getting channels to like you, I highly suggest you quit now. I'm sorry, but there's no end game to this. If somebody does have an end game, please comment and let me know. I'll have you on live and we can fight. But it's just, it doesn't work. What happens when you do this, and this is getting to analytics, but if you start to like other channels in exchange for them liking yours and leaving comments, they're going to be abandoning your workouts early. They're going to watch it for 10 or 15 seconds. That right off the bat, it triggers the algorithm that if this is a 25-minute workout and people are watching it for 20 seconds, then they're thinking it can't be that good. So we may as well show it to less people, because our goal, us being YouTube, is to keep people on our platform. We want to promote the people who are somehow keeping people on our platform for the longest amount of time to watch advertisements. So if everybody's leaving your videos 20 seconds in, it doesn't matter how many great comments you have. On the flip side, and I ran into this recently where somebody was getting, I don't know if it was a bot or what it was, but they received 1,200 hours of watch time from China in one day. And it was 1,200 views on a 1-hour live stream. And every single person watched it. Like, the average view duration was like 98.2%. And so that just blew me away, because on the surface, all your metrics look good. If I don't know what the problem is, or if you don't know what the problem is, you can't fix it.
Right.
So buying views, or, I mean, in this case, I mean, the person I was working with, they knew nothing about it. So whether somebody else did it or whatever the deal was, this happens. Everything looks like it's working perfectly, but it's not, because you know that this is not real. Because particularly with fitness videos, people don't surf for a video and then press play and start working out. It just doesn't work that way. They surf at night. They surf they may surf on a Monday for the workout they're going to do on Wednesday. So those people are going to only watch it for a minute or two, flipping through to find out what the workout is.
Doing a playlist or something.
They're going to like it, or they're going to save it. So it goes into a playlist, and then they're going to do it later. So you're already going to be losing out when it comes to fitness, because you do get those short views, but the hope is that they come back and watch the whole thing, so it balances out. When it looks as though everyone's doing that, then it's basically you don't know what you're doing wrong and you can't get better. So eventually you're just kind of forced to keep buying stuff. The only metric, and I always try to be fully honest, like the only way something like this could work is if you're trying to put together a media kit to sell to a stupid sponsor who's going to give you money based on the fact that everybody loves your channel so much, even though it's not real. And even that is short-term thinking, but that would be the only way I would ever recommend this working. Anything you want to add to that?
Sorry, I asked.
No, but that's basically, what it is. But as far as analytics go, the longer people watch your videos, the more that YouTube will promote it, which means more impressions. And then if you're getting more impressions, but your click-through rate is low, then you know that potentially maybe the thumbnail is not that good, or the title, because YouTube's doing their job. They're actually putting it in front of people. But if not a lot of people are clicking through, then it's either going to the wrong people, which is a whole other thing that we'll talk about. When you get friends and family and other people to watch your videos, that tells the algorithm is looking at that person's user habit, like viewing habits, and they're sending your video to other people like that. Now, any other trainers or friends or people like if it's not somebody who does fitness, Outback Jack every time. My toys fell. If it's not somebody who does, Lost Hog fell on that one too, I think. If it's not somebody who's really into your videos, then the impressions don't matter if it's being sent to the wrong people. Like, that's why I say I've used this channel as an example many times, because thankfully I don't really promote this channel on other platforms very much. And the people that find this channel, like right now, we're at about 1,600 subscribers over the course of a year and a few months. But thankfully, there's no reason to subscribe to my channel unless you're trying to grow a YouTube channel. So the people subscribing to my channel all have fitness YouTube channels. So they find the channel, they're happy because it works with something they're doing. And then the algorithm understands what my avatar is. I believe it understands very well. And it's been one of the keys to just the organic growth in this channel. They understand what my average viewer is like and what they're into. And not only am I getting decent impressions, I'm getting impressions towards the right people, which is really important. And that's what you guys really want to. It's not about views and likes and comments. It's about finding a way to get your video in front of the right audience for you. And that's a very specific thing to do. And it takes time to get into that sort of funnel, so to speak. And so that's why all these little side things, vanity metric stuff to try and bump up your views, it doesn't work. And it delays you getting to where you want to be, which is finding real people who are coming in, who are falling in love with your channel and staying there. And then who potentially you can sell products and services and one-on-one training and all that stuff too.
Good.
All right. So, I'm going to go down. I know you probably posted your link in there. We are going to get to that. I just want to get caught up. So, would you recommend to record the video and then record the audio over with a mic? If so, let me know the mic you recommend for that. I not 99% of the time, I like it if a person's going to talk on camera. We live in a society now where live video is much more popular right now than like just produced video. So you being on camera and talking and making eye contact with the person at home and speaking to them, to me, and I know you can say a lot of this, but fitness and personal training, that is very much an emotional purchase. They need to like you. They need to get to know you and get a feel for you. And a voiceover does not do that as good as you speaking on camera. So I would recommend speaking on camera first. But with that being said, I know that like Case Pilates, for example, she does a lot of voiceover stuff and it works really well for her. She doesn't talk on camera very often, once in a while, but so.
I've seen both, and I think it just needs to be done at the appropriate time, the appropriate way. I've seen some voiceover when I'm watching some Animal Flow stuff or Mace stuff where, like, I don't think it's hard for that person to be talking while they're doing it. And I actually like how they're explaining it, what to look for, the key reminders, and also gives them, it's a little more polished. Because sometimes as you're doing, you're like, fuck, I forgot to say that. Or I forgot to do that. Whereas when they do the voiceover, at least you know, like, hey, here's the key, you know, the key things to remember. They're almost in my head. Because when they're watching themselves, they're seeing some of the things too. But I think it can be done both ways very well. But I like when someone's talking to me. In today's video, we're gonna be blah blah blah, discussing this, showing me this, and I feel a little more connected, like I'm there watching it live. Not just seeing the polished product.
Even going from the videos when I started doing this channel, produced videos, to the live stream, the channel started growing much quicker once the live stream started. And the live streams are much less polished, but they're more personal. And it's the same thing, voiceover versus a produced video where you're talking on camera. Talking on camera, even if it's pre-recorded, is more personal than that. And the ultimate goal here is not just YouTube views. It is utilizing YouTube as a platform to create other revenue streams, such as one-on-one personal training. And your resume is only going to take you so far. A lot of it's going to come down to your personality, you know, and people's ability. And it's very hard to connect with somebody through a camera as opposed to in person. So you're at a disadvantage already. So being able to at least talk to them and even adding little live streams in now and then, it does help a lot in building that relationship to hopefully get this person as a client. Agree, disagree?
Nothing to say to that.
Yeah. Case Pilates, a video about lighting would be awesome. I have the opposite problem at the moment. Almost no natural light at the moment.
Foggy every day. Get some vitamin D, that's for sure. If it's foggy every day.
Austria, it's no sun there. Yeah, I could do a video on lighting. It's hard because you can only go so far when you're trying to do it on a budget. Like I love natural light. In the last studio, whenever we're doing these things, this entire side was just all gigantic windows, and it was actually very hard to balance at times. It looked really pretty in that, but it was you're constantly trying to fill in gaps because there's heavy shadows and stuff. So now I have light, I have windows right here in front of me. I have a window off to this side, but for the most part, it's artificially lit, and it is a little easier to control. And that's one reason, Krista, that your videos are very, very like pristine quality, because you don't have shadows on your face and all that stuff to deal with. So it's a blessing and a curse in a sense. But yeah, we can definitely do some tips on lighting. Like I'm not a lighting expert, but I can certainly do something and kind of show you guys how to do it.
3 quick tips to give them right now.
For lighting?
Yeah.
Basically, windows on that side, put your light on that side. It's going to basically balance out. If you have a light back here that you can kind of light up, like right now, I've got a light with a red gel on it that's shining on that back wall. And that's basically to light up the wall a little bit and also add a little bit of dimension to the shot. Because particularly we're in a little smaller space. In the old videos, Joe and I would be probably about 10 feet farther away from this wall. So we're a little bit tighter now, but still want to give a little bit of depth and dimension just because it looks nice. So one light on the wall. If you've got 3 lights, one light on the wall. I'll tell you what I got right now. I got a light right here, which is basically coming in and it's just balancing the light that's coming in here. I've got a light there that's lighting that wall. And then I just put a ring light around the camera just to pop mine and Joe's faces a little bit.
Like it's hot. So basically 3 lights. If you have a window, go opposite window to balance that light out. 1 in front of you. Height of the light.
Height?
Should we go too high, too low?
It depends.
Angling
It
down.
depends on the light. I've usually when it comes to, because not everyone has a room this big, play with it. Don't set up your lights for the first time 5 minutes before you're going to shoot a video. Play around with it. Sometimes you can go high and go down, and it can kind of it can blend a little nicer. Like if that light there was down and even a couple inches closer, like you and I would just be, it would be casting shadows and doing everything. So we're up a little bit higher, coming down almost like the sun, and it kind of just blends it a little bit. I've got a filter on that light as well, just to kind of diffuse it a bit. Putting a hard light on your face is going to cause shadows. So I've just got clipped like just a little diffuser to basically mellow it out. These lights are fantastic because they do have dimmers. Like I've got a remote, I could be dimming it right now. So that helps a lot too.
That's it.
And that's it. Just play around with them because every room's going to be different. If this room was smaller and these lights were closer, then suddenly we'd be shadows and all that kind of stuff. So
basically looking just to get rid of those shadows, blend that in. And
like something I did, which is a very minor point, but back here, this wall used to be the same color as Val's walls. It was like that beige color. The white, even though it's not a huge difference, it does actually reflect a little bit of light back as well.
Okay.
Oh, I looked at the light too long. Now I can't see the screen. Shell, $60 panels. As I'd mentioned, I got them at Rona in Canada. I don't know if that's a US thing or not. That's the only place that I've seen that they still exist. But if you reach out or leave a comment on this live stream, I'll find the actual brand of the panel. So you can maybe pick it up, find it in a different store. I'm not sure where you're located. So every time I look back, that light's blinding me and I got to look back at this thing. Backfix Pilates. What's your opinion on repurposing long YouTube content and into shorter vids used on Instagram, Facebook?
We know how you feel about this.
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
I'm loosening up on some of my stances.
Are you loosening up on stances?
So
that's like,
when
Robin taking over for a second.
This stuff changes all the time. So basically, Backfix Pilates, it depends on why you're doing it. If you're doing this to try and funnel people to YouTube, that's going to be hit or miss. And again, like we had talked about, trying to avoid those short durations. Like if I share something on Facebook, most of the time I'll just share it on the private Fitness Marketing Hub Facebook page, because some people may spend more time on Facebook than YouTube. So I can catch them if I'm doing a live stream or something, if they want to pick it up through there. I very seldomly share it on my personal feed because that's mainly friends and family and stuff like that, people that aren't really interested in this. So having them view it for 10, 15 seconds doesn't really do me a lot of good. And it can actually hurt in terms of, again, the view duration and stuff like that. If your goal is to if your audience on Instagram is
let's assume it's the business Instagram account.
Okay. So
which I'm assuming
so go for it.
Yeah.
You can do shorter versions on Instagram and Facebook. You can do full length versions in some cases because there are audiences there. And I just read this week actually that Facebook, because of all these changes they're doing, they're investing $1 billion in content creation for next year. So I don't know how that will play out and stuff, but it's nice to see them finally making a decent investment in people's content. So again, everybody's trying to compete with everybody else. And Facebook, for the longest time, I found did not have a good system in place for kind of giving incentive to creators to use the content there. But it may be improving with everything they're doing right now.
So going back to this for a second.
Yep.
Let's assume that he's got these longer videos on YouTube, wants to put them on the BackFit Instagram page.
Yeah.
Assuming people are on that page anyways, and it's builds no like trust. It might get people on the YouTube channel. It might spark someone saying, if the call to action, like, well, I guess to me, what's the call to action? Are you putting them to the YouTube channel? Or are you trying to sell a service?
If you're uploading to Instagram and Facebook, I think you're using it for those platforms. So you can basically, in your descriptions of those pages and stuff, you can put the link to your YouTube page, but that's a lot different than posting links to videos. So you're actually posting it to there. So in that case, I don't think it matters. You can upload it, utilize it, do short versions for full length version. You can tell them to visit, www.youtube.com backfix Pilates. So that's good because you're basically kind of baiting them with like a 5-minute video. For the full feature, go to my YouTube channel. So that's a way to, cater to your audience on Facebook or Instagram and also build your YouTube, because they're not going to click over to watch more unless they're really interested in the content. So in that case, that's a good way to do it. But you can let me know if that's what you're thinking in terms of why you're doing it. So that's not a bad way to do it. Trying to get caught up in these.
Here.
Shall may need 3 lights to evenly cast light and avoid shadows. Agreed. There's the Arkopedia. And then at 5K subs, that's a good amount to start taking YouTube seriously. Yeah, absolutely. Shell, you're very welcome. Saying congratulations, it's amazing on YouTube.
Home Depot has the walls.
Oh, they are okay. Yeah, they don't have them in Home Depot here.
They all kind of get Rona, Home Depot, Lowe's. I got mine at
Yeah.
Lowe's, and they all have their own like variations. I got
Yeah.
mine that look like the white wood paneling and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think in a lot of cases, like if this was my actual living room, I probably wouldn't be as into this. But for this, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So they don't sell as many of these anymore, which is why I don't think a lot of the stores
Gotcha.
carry them. XLX, thank you guys. I agree. Not all negative reviews are bad. I actually do like to look for negative reviews as many people don't follow directions correctly. Yeah. And there's a lot of fake reviews out there and stuff now. So
here's the way I look at negative reviews. I had a negative review about one of the courses that we were launching, and someone from that course kind of tore a strip out of us.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it hurts getting this feedback. Now, I've learned, and as you get wiser and older, you talk about age as well. If I really get bothered by the comment, because I know deep down I fucked up the video, it could have been a little bit better, and I take it too personally.
Yeah,
it's a lesson I need to learn. And maybe the next video I can respond back going, "Hey, thanks for the feedback." And that's what I did.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things I took personally going, "Wow, that kind of hurt."
Yeah,
but at the same time, like, you know what? There's a lot of room for improvement here, and I wrote an amazing email back. Thanks for the suggestions. Here's what we're gonna do. And some people are just like, they're just idiots. That workout sucks. And you can kind of distinguish between the two. But sometimes not all, like you said, not all negative feedback is bad feedback. Mm-hmm. It could be used as a great opportunity to say, "Hey, thank you so much for pointing that out. I'd love to make another video with that in mind.
Yep.
Be sure to check it out." Now you have a fan rather than just trying to create conflict with someone.
Yeah. There's like, I think in this case, she's talking about like reviews on products that she might buy and stuff. But no, to your point, yeah, like I leave negative reviews up on the workout page. Where I draw the line is when people are just being obnoxious. Like if you can say, like, I've had people, again, there's people that will say that they felt in that trap bar deadlift video. For anyone that hasn't seen it, it's a video on the channel. It's probably the most viewed video on my YouTube channel. It's like a 2-minute tutorial with him and a girl that he worked with. And you just get those trainers who they need to say stuff, and they'll say, usually they're critiquing her form,
right?
And they'll critique you for not correcting her in that moment and stuff. But again, if somebody wants to add their 2 cents, that's fine. It's an open forum community. That's great. If somebody wants to say, "Oh, he's an idiot, he never should be a trainer," like that kind of stuff, it's like, I'm going to delete you because you're not helping anybody.
Right.
Like it's fine if somebody has a differing opinion. There's a lot of information and again, I just gave information on, like Joe, whenever we were talking with the Instagram, Facebook, by nature, I tend to be very down on that. If you go back and look at old videos, but people can come on, like there's people that, and I wait for it. It's going to happen someday, that are going to say that I'm completely wrong because people have different opinions on stuff. And again, like when I speak to this, I'm not talking about a general YouTube channel. I'm talking about specifically fitness.
Right.
And it's my opinion. And I usually preface by saying it's my opinion. So, I mean, people are going to have different opinions on stuff, and that's fine. But as far as getting, reviews or comments on your channels, once you start getting anything that's even moderately disruptive, that means that you're outside of your comfort zone. Like you're starting to reach people who aren't in your circle. And that in itself, even though there's some negativity that will come with that, it means that your channel's starting to work. So always take that as a good thing.
What are we next here?
And then personal training. If you're still here, and make sure you send me that link for your channel, and I'll.
He destroyed the trap bar video. He's got 1 million views. Nice job, buddy.
Zoom H1.
You had to
show. If I had to focus on one social media platform outside of YouTube, which would you recommend?
Can I answer that before you
do?
Where your avatar is.
Yeah.
If you are on Instagram and your avatar is on LinkedIn, or if it's not there, if it's somewhere else, and you have none of your avatar on that platform, might not be the best place to go. So the first thing I would look at is wherever the majority of your avatar spends most of their time.
Are you saying, like, for example, if you're average, like, just if 80% of your viewers are between 55 and 64 on YouTube, maybe don't go to TikTok. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. There you go.
Because there's no one there shopping for your product.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. What you're familiar with, what you're comfortable with, and where your avatar is, to me, is the place to be.
Whoa, puppy. Hi, Bubba.
Hello.
If I had to focus on something outside of YouTube, yes, puppy, hello. I would probably choose Facebook before Instagram, because Instagram especially, it's so fast. They're flipping through and stuff. Like, it depends on how you're trying to message people. It's really hard to, like, it depends on it depends on what you're doing, I guess. But I think people on Facebook, they're a little slower, a little bit, with how they look at things. Like, I think they read articles on Facebook and things like that, as opposed to Instagram, where it's very much just
quick pick, get your
picture,
attention.
like, next sort of thing. But yeah, that's just me. Good evening, KJ. Glad you're able to make it. Prefer speak. Yeah, I mean, that's part of it that we didn't even mention with the speaking versus voiceover. Do what you're most comfortable with at first. If you're really bad on camera, maybe a voiceover is a better way to do it until you kind of hit that comfort zone.
Having a little teleprompter helps too. And there's some amazing apps. Big View. Love that app. If you have an iPad or something like that, you can also teleprompt when you're doing some of your filming. We did it a lot as well. For those who are not very comfortable and just want some key points or some talking points, intros, that kind of stuff, take a look at that.
Big View.
Big View.
I'm kind of in the I have a teleprompter and I use it with corporate interview clients and stuff, but I usually, anytime I'll do something like that, I always do with teleprompter and without. And then sometimes I'll even splice it together at the end, because sometimes teleprompter, if you're not experienced using it, it becomes very robotic, and you start to do this and you're reading the lines like this and you're going down, and it gets
the muscle tech videos that we did with the teleprompter. So yes, there are some people who, when looking at a teleprompter, tend to do this and not realize that they become really robotic and their eyes are going side to side.
The best was the joke. Telling a joke on a teleprompter is the worst thing ever.
The tonation's sometimes not there.
Yeah.
But this comes on your phone too. So just the text is there.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've used, one of my little tricks when using the teleprompter, is the gaze. Read and then gaze as if you're thinking, because then it makes things look a lot more natural. Because usually when you're talking to the camera, you look, you start thinking. So I kind of slow down the teleprompter bit. I add for a little more hand gestures and for looking away. But I really like using the teleprompter.
But see, you're pretty good on camera as it is, though, I think. And again, it just comes with practice. Like, there's little things you can do. If you are using the teleprompter, you can start to kind of use your hands a bit, because any little motions and emotions, it just kind of takes your hands off of this. And while reading the thing on the teleprompter, it says, but I should say this next. And a lot of people go there. And yes, you're getting your message out, but it becomes so overproduced and contrived that, again, particularly for fitness, you're not building rapport with the client on that organic, kind of natural, emotional level. Val, you're welcome for the lighting tips. Oh, Shelley, you live in Vancouver. Oh, nice. I have clients in Vancouver. Backfix. Business Insta and Facebook looking to use the videos for marketing and in-person clients while still building the content long-term on YouTube. I think that's fine, because you're using it for two different purposes. Yeah. You've got your long-form stuff on YouTube. You're using the clips. You're uploading the clips to those platforms, so they are their own thing. But then you're able to kind of lace that with, for full length, for more videos, for long-form content, go here. So the people that are going to go there are the ones that are actually interested, because they can get their little sound bites from you directly on those platforms. So I think that's fun.
Makes them look good.
Yep.
Good, no like trust factor. Makes it look professional. good stuff.
Cheers, guys. Keep smashing. Thank you, Backfix. Appreciate that. You're welcome, Val. Love hearing that you turn negative feedback into something constructive and positive. A great way to frame it. It just means there's room for improvement. Yeah. I mean, again, it's one of the biggest reasons that people don't grow on YouTube is and this is actually a video idea that I was thinking of over the weekend that I think I'm going to do is they get so much anxiety about presenting on camera that they're terrified of what might happen if it does get out more public. Like they'd rather just do the video, rush all their friends and family in there to like it and say how great they are. And then they're kind of just, they're living in a bubble where that you need to get out and cross that bridge. And yes, you're going to get some resistance. And sometimes somebody's going to have a different opinion. Fine. Sometimes someone's just going to be a jerk. Fine. It's going to happen, but it's, when you start getting that, it shows that you're growing. And I would rather, a thumbs down to me is a better, what's the word I'm looking for? That tells me you're growing more than likes. Like, because it's anybody can go and beg their friends to go like their stuff. And I see people that are trying to make a living doing that. And then they have so much anxiety because they know that they're just living in a bubble that it's not working.
If I can give some insight on that.
Go for it.
Do you like alcohol?
Yeah. You want a beer?
Is there any alcohol you don't like? It's like, so give me something that you just like, that's just disgusting. Tequila?
Sure, we'll say tequila, even though I have a bottle in the house.
Does it stop the tequila makers from making it? They don't give a shit.
Right.
Treat whatever you're putting out there. Wine is a good example.
Mm-hmm.
There are some people that are so particular with their wine.
Yeah.
And they to me, it's like, it's red. Great, I'll drink it. Other people are like, no, it's got to be a Barolo. If it's not a Barolo, I don't drink it. It's got to be a Cab Sav, certain blend, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
They're very particular with their taste, and they love that about it. And they'll stand by how much they love it. They don't care if you hate their wine. They don't care if you like whiskey and they're a wine drinker. Just find the people that you are connected with in terms of your avatar, and don't care about the people who don't like your flavor. As long as you own it, when you're doing those videos, you own what you're doing and who you're talking to. You shouldn't care about the people who don't like it.
Well, that's one thing that I've always thought about when it comes to, people that are trying to load up their videos with positivity, but it's manufactured through whether it's friends, family, like for like groups and all that. It's like, I hear a lot about some show on Netflix called Squid Games or something.
Oh yeah. Great show. Yeah. We should do a whole podcast on that.
I'll never watch that show.
Why? It's pop culture, dude.
One sentence synopsis on that show. It's like, I have zero interest in watching that. I don't care how much he talks about it. I won't watch it.
I haven't talked about it at all, and I'm just intrigued.
No, but I'm saying though, like, perfect example. So if I watch your workout video, I'm going to like it or not like it based on my own likes and dislikes.
But you have to watch it to form an opinion whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So not watching Squid Games is like, I don't even want to watch the first. I don't even want to look at your channel.
I don't have to though. The synopsis on it, that's why your channel description is important. if I read your channel description and I don't like it, I'm not going to watch the videos. The title of your channel, like all that stuff doesn't matter. I don't need to go any farther than the first two sentences on what that show's about. It's like, I have no interest in that. It sounds like violence for the sake of violence. It's not my cup of tea, and I'm not going to like it, even though lots of people that I know are just like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing. And they're binge watching it and everything else. I have zero interest in watching it. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe I would like it if I tried it, but right now I have zero. And if all of my friends like it, it's not going to change my mind. It'll be just, if I somehow decide to watch it or get forced to watch it or something, maybe I'll end up liking it. But
can I retract my statement then?
Sure.
Because one, I fail to ask good questions to know what you do like, what you don't like to watch, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
There are things I refuse to watch because I just don't feel like feeling a certain way before I go to bed.
Yeah.
I like to I watch stuff that's light, that's in, and Squid Games is not light. Now, I do like to watch Black Mirror. I like to watch a lot of like futuristic, like 1984 kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And intrigue my mind with, wow, like just the parallels of what's happening in the world, what's going on, like just shit like that. That intrigues me. So I'm watching this from a very different lens going, wow, that's kind of cool.
Mhm.
I'm watching it from a director perspective as well. Like, I thought it was well shot. Like, it's all dubbed. So, like,
that part I can appreciate.
So there's a lot of like just things that I like. Run Lola Run's a German film that I love that's dubbed, and just certain things about it. And my son recommended it, so we watched it as a family.
Yeah.
So there's certain things that I got out of it that maybe if that's not the type of stuff you like watching, you'd be like, I'm not going to watch 2 more hours of the people just dying for no reason. This is.
But I mean, and that's on the flip side. We're getting in a whole movie.
No, this is cool though, because of understanding your niche and your avatar and things like that.
On the flip side, I have a lot of friends that are very heavy movie lovers. They watch a lot of films and stuff. I'm a diehard fan of Rocky, and I know a lot of people are. But people who are real big film guys think that Rocky's just a piece of crap.
And I think they're a piece of crap.
I actually feel that Sylvester Stallone as a storyteller and as a writer is extremely underrated. He takes the same premise for every movie and he keeps repeating it, and we keep coming back and watching it. But it's like, you know, and this, if you ever hear him speak,
it's just the hero's journey. Every movie does the same thing.
He said a lot of different times that Rocky is a love story. It's not a boxing movie. Boxing is about, when you hear him start to lay out what his vision was of it, you can tell there's more put into it than just like Rocky wins, you know, that sort of thing. So regardless of all my friends not liking that or not agreeing with that, I still do that. So see, and I don't think I'm alone with that. I think people make decisions on the workouts they like and dislike based on their own preferences. And you can have 1 million likes and 3 dislikes. If they don't like it, they don't like it. To me, there's no, well, if all these people like it, then I must do it. I just don't think that happens. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, but all right, where are we at here? And then personal training, I hear that I'm quite small, so I get people say I'm not big enough to be a trainer, but I am not about muscle building. I want to help people feel better inside and out.
And then personal training. I've trained 3 UFC fighters. I am not a UFC fighter. I've trained our national kickboxing team. I am not a kickboxer. Your knowledge and your expertise is what you're selling, and your ability to take someone up a mountain and through their journey is why they're coming to watch you. Otherwise, you know what? Buy Flex Magazine. Those are the biggest guys. If they want to learn from bodybuilders and Sergio Oliveira Jr. and all these new guys coming up, follow their page instead. But if you actually want to watch someone who cares about you and you want someone who knows about your fitness needs, then hey, watch NM Personal Training page, and I understand you. People will keep watching you for that.
And to me too, like I think in a lot of cases, people like to train with people they can relate to. If I'm somebody who is a little bit smaller and a hard gainer, like I'm sure there's people that you've probably trained before who may feel that, well, Joe's telling me to do this, but Joe's like 260 pounds and he's built and I'm not. Like, so people do think that sometimes. So when they see, like I've owned health clubs, and I can remember there's trainers that I have worked with up here in Toronto who are like celebrities down in PEI, because women felt they could relate to them because their body types were similar. Like people who do, like, they're just different body shapes and stuff. So being a little bit smaller, but being in shape and stuff, that is a way to connect with somebody. It's like, hey, I'm a bit smaller. I can't gain muscle. This guy has done it. So it doesn't have to be, that big guy thing. Like, I think that's definitely not necessary and should definitely not hold you back. Link sent. Okay, good. Val, in regards to conversation about people watching each other's videos and commenting, I have 3 or 4 YouTubers right now who are doing the workouts. And that's good, Val. And I mean, again, like I've had these conversations even with my own members and just telling them to avoid this kind of stuff. It's one thing to, like, I know there's people in my community who have become friends and supporters of one another. I know, Val, you've done live streams with different trainers and stuff. That's all good. I watch your videos, Val. And if I turn on your video, I may not be doing a walking workout, but if I'm going to check out what you're doing, I'll let it run for a while and I'll watch it and I'll leave a comment and stuff. So I do that with people who I'm friends with on YouTube because I do want to support you. What happens is when it gets too big, when you start dealing with people who you're really not connected with on YouTube, it becomes a thing where they're going to do it because they know you're going to do it back. I'm not saying you, but in general. So they'll turn it on for 10 seconds and they'll leave a 3-sentence awesome workout with a little fire emoji or something, and then they're gone. And so there's a difference between that and me leaving 2-3 sentences on what you're doing and knowing that I'm if I'm supporting you, I'm supporting you. So I think that's the thing is people get, it's one thing I wholeheartedly feel that creators should support one another. But if you're getting into these kind of made up groups and stuff where it's all about like it, comment, and then go to the next one and like and comment that, because they're eventually going to come like comment me, like that's when you lose it. If I leave a comment on your video and tell you you're doing a great job and things are coming along and the room looks great and all that, I don't expect you to jump over to my channel and leave a comment. I'm doing that because I want to, because your video popped up on my feed and I wanted to give you some support. So it's just a matter of being careful, because it's, again, it can be counterproductive to your growth, and you're at a point where you are starting to grow. So you want to be cautious of that. You don't want to shoot yourself in the foot. And I'm not saying you, I'm just saying anybody in general. They record themselves doing the workout and post on their channel or Instagram. Oh, that's good. Real good. Squid Game. I'm not going there. Okay, I understand. Although I feel the violence is without reason. I feel like
now, with your premise, again, if that's not what, like, you got kids at home, I mean, we have a very minimal amount of time. I don't know how much time you watch investing into watching stuff. When I have that 60 minutes, 45 minutes, I'm selective with my time. I want to feel a certain way. I want to be entertained. I want to like watch something that I know I'm going to enjoy, and something that's just not for you. I get that.
Yeah. And my tastes have changed over the years too. Like I used to binge watch Breaking Bad.
I just started watching that last night again.
Did you?
For the first time in like 5 years.
And I watched the movie that came out, the kind of the follow-up movie and stuff. But there was a point in time where I watched it and it was fantastic writing, great acting, really enjoyed everything. And what actually changed everything for me was a death in my family. And suddenly it's like I became much more sensitive to violence and people getting killed and stuff like that. And it somehow it psychologically just turned me off that stuff. And as much now as I could probably go back and watch Breaking Bad, because I do really appreciate how well done that show was. A lot of those shows I just don't give a chance to. And that's just personal preference. Yeah. It's nice because they've been recording themselves. Oh, we got that. YouTube Valve, a great week. And then personal training. No, I don't want to blow. You had mentioned there that he left his channel. Let me see if I can find it. You want to do a channel review? I'm looking up your channel now, and I'm guessing maybe you emailed me your channel. So, and
touchscreen? No.
Not yet.
Are you a two-finger typer?
Oh, I use all my fingers.
Oh, I thought I saw four fingers there. Four-finger typing.
Might have been.
Oh my God.
All right. Share screen.
Four-finger typer. This is 1987?
All right, guys, welcome to NM Personal Training. If any of you guys want me to do a quick review of your channels today, just let us know.
First comment off the bat?
Yeah, you started off.
And I'm in no way, shape, or form a YouTuber expert, but I do like watching YouTube and what catches my eye. First thing I want to see at the top in terms of the banner is like, who do you help?
Yeah.
Is this for me? Is it not for me? Beginners, advanced, low back pain. Are you metabolic conditioning? Are you strength conditioning? That banner, the first thing I want to see is like, who do you help? And did I stop in the right place?
Yeah.
That's it.
Before we even get started, NM, are you here?
Is this thing on? MM, are you here?
I know that you're here before I start. So, yeah. So basically, again, we're doing this from the outside looking in. We'll start with the main. We're on the main channel here. Now, your home page, yes, the banner should be different. You have to look at this, guys, in terms of like people buying into your channel. So they're going to find you through a video on a search engine or something. So that's going to come down to your titles and where it's showing up in search results, and it's going to come down to your thumbnails. Now, a text thumbnail is not going to be. You look at it think of search results. A white screen with red text, and if it's in between two really nicely done thumbnails, it's, as much as the information is there, it's not overly enticing to click on. So that might not even get them to your channel, but let's say it does. So yes, I would very much, before I go to your banners and stuff, your thumbnails, you should create kind of a master template, something that's a little bit stylish, that's easy to use if you're not into heavy graphic designing, that you can just slip a picture in behind, change your title, and off you go, utilizing whatever colors you're going to use for your brand. So let's say they've clicked through and now they're on your channel. What Joe just said is absolutely correct. Black is not a great color on YouTube. Black and red are both dark colors in this case, especially. So they both kind of get lost. And then NM personal training does pop off the black, but NM personal training doesn't say anything. And one of the hardest things to do when you're first starting out is realizing that this is not about your brand. It's about their problem. Somebody like a Heather Robertson, a Caroline Gervin, these people that are kind of household names and have 2-3 million subscribers on YouTube, they are search, they are search terms. People are searching for Caroline Gervin workouts. I'm just using her as an example. People right now are probably not searching for NM personal training workouts. So before they've even clicked on anything, they're on your channel. They need to know in that banner, what's this about? What are you offering? Because you want them to buy in. So I would be adding a picture. I'd be adding more color. If you were going to use a color like black, I would use as your splash color something that's more vibrant to give it a little more pop, but definitely more in there. Links, if there's a website, anything like that, like I would definitely add to that. And I also think your banner and your color scheme should match up with your thumbnails. Beyond that, your main page, which is where we are now, should be set up better with playlists. You can actually have, like, the easiest thing to do, again, like right now I am seeing, and again, people do, they base you on metrics that shouldn't matter. But for example, like 115 views, 49, 19, 21, 32. Your first line here should be popular workouts, because it's going to push the ones that have been viewed the most. Those workouts have been viewed the most for a reason. They're the ones that are connecting with the audience the best. So they should be there because aesthetically it looks better with the higher view counts. And then also they obviously are the workouts that have garnered more attention. So there's something about them that might help. It's probably your best sales tool out of all your workouts, or your most popular ones. So yeah, that's a couple things right there. I'm not even sure if he's here anymore, but he can come back and look at it. About showing workouts for those that are experienced exercises and those that are new to it. I've been qualified since 2014. I hope you enjoy the channel. Happy to answer any questions you have. The only thing I would say to that is niche down. You're the channel for those that are experienced and those that are new. Like and I'm sure you're probably adding for both, but I think you're much better off starting to kind of hyper focus on a certain demo of people.
Tell me what that means. So expand on experienced lifter who, and give me an example of what you mean.
Yeah.
4-time Mr. Olympia experienced lifter. Is he coming to your page? Probably not. Experience meaning you've done this for 3 or 4 months and you know the difference between a squat and a deadlift. Give me, or give anyone, the viewer, paint them a good idea of what you mean by that. So a newbie, for example, someone who is new. Well, I mean, completely green, doesn't even know a bicep from a quadricep. Is this going to be the channel for them to go to really dumb things down? Because like Regan was saying, is that you can't really cater to both.
Yeah.
You can't be a high-end steakhouse and a breakfast place offering steak.
Yeah.
They just don't go together. So narrow down who you're really servicing so that they're going to listen.
Yeah. It's using this channel as an example. I could be a channel for people who want to grow their YouTube channels, no matter what it is. This is the channel, and it becomes much more convoluted that way. And then all of a sudden, I'm in competition with a lot of other really popular YouTube marketing channels. But when I hyper focus into YouTube channel marketing for fitness creators, it's like, yes, I'm eliminating a lot of potential subscribers, but I'm also jumping out to people who have fitness channels. It's like, well, that guy's got 1 million subscribers and he does general marketing for YouTube. This guy does it just for fitness channels. I can't not look at this. Like they'll probably subscribe to both, but the thing is that I've managed to stand out by being smaller and niche. And it does help. Like if your channel, for example, like if Joe did a channel that was, strength training and core building something for mixed martial arts fighting, like something like that. It's extremely niche, but you know what? There are a lot of wannabe UFC fighters sitting in their living room right now eating chips who would probably do those workouts thinking that they're doing MMA style training. So I mean, like being able to kind of narrow it down and focusing on certain things, like, and if you're going to do something beginner to advanced, then present it in such a way that you've actually got playlists and people can almost graduate from a one, like, level 1, first time here, beginner training, do these workouts. You're now ready for level 2, and then have a progression system.
Yes.
And then, so things like that, I think will help a bit.
Beauty.
Yeah. What's about it? Before I have to go, I just want to ask if you know how creators are able to use popular music without getting copyrighted. How is this possible? Is there a way to do this? There's not, Val. Basically, if they're doing that, then they're going to get copyright infringement. Best case scenario, that video, any money that it does make will go to the owner of that music or its label. Worst case scenario, you mess with the wrong label and they can have your channel deleted. So it's not something you're able to do without actually paying for the rights to use the music. So definitely avoid that, because it will catch up with you when you get monetized and suddenly you've got all these great videos that are popular. And the other thing too is that you've got to be cautious, because some people will do that and they'll actually incorporate the name of the song in their actual workout title. And again, you start getting people who are searching for that song, and then they're not interested in your video. They abandon early, and here we go. So yeah, you're just better off using something like an Epidemic Sound that has, it's pretty good music for that, white label kind of music and stuff. Like it still sounds like music, and use stuff like that. So we got that. And yeah, NM personal training, I think you might be gone now, but so that's some of my stuff. Like I could tell a lot more by looking at your analytics. But definitely there's some aesthetic changes that I would recommend. Setting up the channel properly, making sure your key tags and your meta tags and all that are in place, and key phrasing, just kind of making it streamlined. Like right now, just looking at the videos here and the views, I think based on your subscribers, you should be getting a great deal more views. So obviously we're not surfacing as much as we should be, but I mean, that can be tweaked and changed fairly quickly, just by making some aesthetic changes and some changes to SEO to appease to the algorithm and stuff. So yeah, Sharpie, how does he review it? You wanted, you just saw it. So, Mel Fierce Fitness, good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are. Glad you can make it. Val, I use Epidemic Sound, just found out that if I quit paying for a subscription, they can copyright me. They shouldn't be. Well, yeah, they probably can. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but yeah, they probably can. It's just keep buying your subscription, Val. I don't. I'm really happy that I don't use music in my videos because it's just you don't run into stuff like that. But yeah, that's just what you have to do. And I mean, if you're going to keep doing this, then you may as well keep the subscription. It's a good business model for them. Yeah, see that what Chris is saying. That's what I thought too. Like I'm pretty sure that you're kind of grandfathered in. If you use the music for that video while you're subscribed, they're not going to suddenly take it. I think maybe the only time that happens is if the musician pulls their content from Epidemic Sound and they go with it, say another label or something for commercializing. I think then perhaps that can happen. But I don't think that Epidemic Sound will suddenly monetize because I think they'd get a lot of flack for that. Yeah. Where are we at here? So 128. No problem, Val. And we'll turn off NM's thing here. All right. Oh.
Come on.
Robin doesn't stand with those shoes.
He's got those shoes.
He's to lean on
I'll
that.
just hold him. Take care of that.
Kind of looks like the elf on the shelf.
He does actually. We should have hit him somewhere in the back to see if you can find the elf on the shelf, otherwise known as Robin.
Val's taking off. See you later, Val. I think we're going to be taking off fairly soon too. So yeah, if you guys have no other questions or anything like that, I guess we'll wrap it up. If you guys like the live stream today, by all means, feel free to like it and leave some comments below because it does helps us surface. If any of you guys are looking for consultations on your channels leading into the new year, I would highly recommend doing it now. It is getting a bit busier. It's pretty good value if you talk to anybody who's done it, and a lot of little tweaks that can be made that can just kind of help you get running smoothly as we head into January and stuff. So, show. So thank you for this live video. So appreciate it. My pleasure. Look forward to checking out your channel. You're welcome, Krista. Mel. Doing a good job. Thanks. So yeah, so basically buymeacoffee.com, Trainer Hub. There's stuff on there with memberships. We've also got the YouTube membership set up now. There's going to be a lot of deep dive videos going into the members platform, video editing, stuff like that. We should knock the light out.
No, I don't know.
Oh. So yeah, and if you have any general questions, Facebook group, facebook.com/fitness marketing hub, or just search Fitness Marketing Hub. And you can always email me. My email is usually in the description somewhere. So hope you guys have a great week, very productive. Look forward to having you guys visit the home studio more often now. There's going to be a lot more content on this channel now that I'm basically living in my studio. And we will have Joe back from time to time, I'm sure.
Sounds good.
So lots happening. Take care, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for dropping by. And I can't turn it off.
We are still alive. Thankfully, we didn't start swearing.